So thank you for joining us today in our Ask the Expert series. Today we have Andrea Knowlton from Nosh Chef Services. She's also a local chef at Idle Isle Cafe here in Brigham City, if you've ever eaten there. So you may have tasted some of her food. So Andrea, thank you for being on. I really appreciate you joining us. So we've got some questions, and our topic today is how to spice up your home recipes. So I know a lot of you are at home. You've gone through all your recipes over and over again, and you're trying to figure out, what do I do for dinner? So Andrea, first question.
Yes.
What is one simple tip that you could use to add some extra flair to some of the most basic or plain home meals?
Right. And I'm glad you said basic, because that's, I think, place where most of us need to get started. Down to the basics of tasting food is you want to make sure you're using enough salt and seasoning. And believe it or not, salting a food and seasoning a food are actually different things. So get yourself something more exciting than iodized salt, because pretty sure you're not going to get a goiter, and that's what iodine is for. So get a newer salt, like a kosher salt or a pink Himalayan salt, or even all of those fancy salts. Believe it or not, they have different flavors and they do different things. Like a kosher salt is a flake instead of, like, iodized salt is a cube, kosher salt is a flake, and the Himalayan salt is a pyramid. So they're going to stick to food differently, and they're going to do different things in your food. I find that most people aren't salting enough to bring out all the natural flavors of their food anyway. Also, salting helps with food going brown and brown food good.
That's great. Good tips. So Costco and Sam's Club has it right when they have specials on their Himalayan fancy salts.
Yep, for
awesome.
sure.
So our next question is, how can we get our kids to eat healthier with some simple or some substitutes that we use in our basic meals?
So that's a good one. There's always the simple spaghetti squash instead of the pasta spaghetti. That's a simple switch out. But even then, it's interesting to try to see kids not know what a food is and not be willing to try it. So I recommend getting your kids in there. Get your kids to help you in the kitchen. That's really important, because familiarity makes it so that they're going to be less afraid to try something or even experiment, anything like that. One thing I did that I had a lot of fun doing is I took my son and my daughter. My daughter's a really good eater. My son is a little bit pickier. A little picky. And we took his friend and we went to Smith's and we bought all kinds of different fruit for them to try. And then I set up a camera and I chopped it up and we put it under the little cover, and we did the reveal where they all see what it is and get nervous about trying it. But I had the two that were really good and really excited about trying, and it helped my picky eater try the different things. Now, we only found one more fruit that he liked, but I found another fruit and something else he liked, and it was really, really exciting. So, and then I just uploaded that video to my YouTube, and they had a blast.
Well, that's a great idea. What I'm going to do for our viewers is I'm actually going to have Andrea send the link, and I'll actually post it in this post, so you guys will be able to video and share it with your kids, and maybe it's an idea for them. It'll encourage them to try some new things.
Right.
So our final question is, how can we make home cooking more fun?
Right. So fun, that's really hard for me, because I've always had fun in the kitchen. I wouldn't know that you have to talk people into having fun in the kitchen. So I've thought about this a lot. And one thing that came to my mind is you need to have the right tools. If you have a dull knife, chopping that onion is going to make you cry. But if you have a sharp knife, it's going to cut through it a lot faster, break down the cell walls, and you're going to cry less. So it's really important to have the right tools. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's an expensive tool, because I have a knife I bought from Albertsons back when Albertsons was around, and I have a Henkel, which is a $75 knife. I paid $3 for my Albertsons knife and $75 for my Henkel, but they both cut the same when they're sharpened. So it's really important to have good tools and the tools you need in the kitchen. That makes it a lot easier, because you're not fighting with it and getting frustrated.
Well, thank you, Andrea. Hopefully there's some tips that everyone has picked up from this to give your basic home meals a little extra flair, maybe add a little more fun to the cooking experience, because we are spending more time as a family. Now, Andrea, how can our viewers get in touch with you?
So I do have a Facebook page. I am under Nosh Chef Service, and Nosh is spelled Gnosh, and because Nosh is a Yiddish word for to snack, just to kind of munch, and that's what I do in the culinary field. I do just a little bit of everything. So if you need to get a hold of me, you have a question, you want to place an order for a custom cake, you can find me there. Or if I'm not there, I'm at Idle Isle because that's where I work, and you can contact me through their Facebook page.
Great. So thanks again, Andrea, for being on, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
For sure. Thank you.